In high school, me and my buddies, we used to make loquat wine.
Really?
Because there's all these fucking loquat trees in Austin.
Uh-huh.
And we would just grab a, we would steal a shopping cart from H-E-B.
Yeah.
And we would just walk around the neighborhood shaking loquat trees with the shopping cart underneath it. And we'd, like, fill a shopping cart with loquats.
Nice.
And then we would just, like, mash it with sugar and water. And then we'd just ferment it in bottles.
That's pretty sick. Was it good?
It was really sweet.
Yeah.
We kind of fucked that up. But it got you drunk as shit.
Nice.
And it tasted pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Tasted like shitty wine.
Ramon is going to show me how to do this for myself.
I mean, yeah, you can make hooch out of any fruit.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what is the process?
Because you just need the sugars from the fruit to make the alcohol.
How do you ferment it? I don't really know anything about
You really, I mean,
alcohol.
you literally just, like, you need sugar and water and yeast. And in prison, I think they just put bread in the...
It is yeast.
And yeah, the sugar eats the yeast, and the byproduct is alcohol.
That's fucking wild. How did we...
Or vice versa.
How did we figure out how to do that shit, like, fucking...
Someone probably just left some bread in a bowl.
They were like, shit, I'm
like,
fucked up now.
They probably had a bunch of, like, berries and apples in a bowl with a slice of bread, and it got wet.
Yeah.
And then they left it outside for, like, a week, and they're like,
tasted
oh, I'm
it.
thirsty.
Yeah.
And then they sipped it, and they were like, wow, I feel cool.
They're like, I am going...
Let's do that again.
I am going to go touch some people inappropriately at a party now.
Well, yeah. And that was my ancestor. That's why I was an alcoholic.
I'm Ramon's ancestor. I just invented alcohol. I am now going to go embarrass myself.
He invented alcohol and alcoholism.
I'm going to in the same one fell swoop.
Yeah.
I'm going to embarrass myself at a few church parties.
Me tell Grug about stinky fruit water.
Stinky fruit water.
Stinky fruit water make me and Grug laugh loud and touch people inappropriately.
And look longingly into each other's eyes. This is just a Skyrim voice.
Me and Grug touch each other sometime when drink fruit water, stinky fruit.
They didn't give a shit about homosexuality.
Oh, isn't that cool? Like, we didn't know which hole was which back then.
I feel like we had an idea. I feel like we had an idea.
Now that I think about it,
Yeah, what do you mean?
poop comes out of one of them.
I feel like we had an idea which hole.
And then I realized, like, all animals kind of know, too. I wish I was that Chow. I wish I was really small sometimes.
I wish I was like 8 feet taller.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. I wish I was a giant. I literally wish I was like fucking 8 feet tall.
Gee, what was that?
I genuinely sometimes, like, feel like
I wonder if I'm
like it was a joke for a while, and sometimes I feel like I have like a giantess fetish.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's interesting because it's a fetish that you could never realize.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying. there's no such thing as giant women. There's tall women.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's true. Not yet.
We've got a lot of life left,
We got a
Alex.
lot of life there.
And we've got we've got a lot of technology.
Those newfangled fucking giant women that they're paying to step on people. And
I'm like Rick Moranis in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I invent the machine specifically to be like stomped on by a giant woman. It's like a fetish thing instead of like a... He's like, I invented this beam so I could shrink things and do science. And I'm like, I invented this beam so I can get my rocks off, baby.
Oh, man. Do you think Plankton and Karen ever?
Oh, yeah.
Just like,
dude, Plankton is like...
Step on me.
That was really good.
Karen, come on down and step on me, please.
That, like... almost trailed into like Peter Griffin at the end a little bit.
I don't have that big a variation on voices on my impression.
No, that was good though. I liked that.
It works. It works for a little bit.
What does Karen sound like?
The Krabby Patty secret formula.
Oh yeah, it's just like a robot woman.
Kind of robot woman, yeah.
She gonna go all the way with that bird?
Man, as well. Well, here's the classic like goofy Pluto debate. Like, there's animals
Yeah,
in the
right.
in the fucking
It is the same thing.
in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is an animal. Amy's an animal. Rouge, Knuckles, they're all animals. But there's also just regular fucking animals that aren't anthropomorphic. Like, if Goofy is the anthropomorphic dog, why is Pluto just a fucking regular dog? You know what I'm saying?
I think Goofy has fucked Pluto before.
No, I had actually. Well, this is perfect. I had come up with this theory about that. So how the world of Mickey Mouse works is that all of the animals, every single one, is anthropomorphic and has the same capacity as each other. Like they're all intellectually the same. What I'm going after is that there are animals like Pluto, there are characters like Pluto that do it as a fetish thing and as an act of like submission. They pretend they're regular fucking dogs, and they
So it's
submit
like puppy play.
Basically, yeah. All the everybody like Pluto is just doing like puppy play.
Wow.
All the time.
That is pretty interesting.
Right? I thought of that when I was
It makes sense.
when I was like 17, and I never looked back.
And that kind of also explains why he seems more just like looking like dog-like, because he's like wearing a costume or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
Guys,
I really wish you didn't tell me that.
Alex, I really wish you never said that to me.
This is worse than my Spice experience when I was 13.
This is worse than when I smoked K2 when I was 14 years old. This is worse than the moment that ruined my life.
This is the burden of knowledge. You just ruined my life again. The burden of knowledge. I'm like Thanos. In a way.
You should have aimed for my head.
You should have aimed.
And I mean the one on my penis.
You should have aimed for my penis. You should have aimed for my penis.
With your mouth, Thor.
You should have aimed with your penis. Oh, I gotta get my Thanos impression down. You should have. You're just.
Why did you just go in there and then leave?
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Go back to the jungle.
All right. You should have aimed for my penis. You should have aimed for my penis.
It's starting to sound like Buffalo Bill.
You should have aimed. You should have.
You should have aimed for my penis.
You should have aimed for my penis. You should have aimed.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
You should have aimed for my penis.
Have you seen my dog, Precious?
You should have aimed.
Precious.
You should have aimed for my penis. It would have been a waste.
Alex, you have to stop. Like, when you get into like bits where you just like repeat shit all the time, it like legitimately like gives me like trip flashbacks.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll stop.
Sometimes it gets really hard. Sometimes it sucks being around you.
Oh, buddy, I know. Fuck what I do.
Don't.
I'm sorry. You keep doing this,
Don't
Alex.
touch my equipment like
you
that.
You always do this. That's the worst part in a friendship when one of your friends goes, "You always do this." That's
because he spends so much time with them.
You always do this. Gross. Hell yeah, dude.
Laugh and cry.
Laugh and cry. Laugh and cry.
See, you know, it's sometimes you doing the repeated thing is like really funny to me, and it's depending on the tone.
Yeah, I think it's the Thanos
it's
thing.
Like, the Thanos bit like made me think I was like,
you should have aimed for my
like
penis.
the voices were back.
Yeah, yeah. Stewie is just like, oh, it's Stewie.
Oh, that's just Stewie, dude. If your like inner voice while you're like having a bad trip was Stewie Griffin,
I wouldn't even take it seriously.
It wouldn't be a bad trip.
Like, oh, your family hates you. And I'm like, I know.
Stewie,
I know.
You silly goose.
I know, Stewie.
I've spoken to God and he abandoned us.
He's abandoned us, Brian. Well, shit, I'm a dog.
That was a really good Brian impression.
I'm a dog. Dude, we should just voice over a Family Guy episode.
Bozo dubbed over?
No, it's like he just dubs it over. No, he's
That
doing
would
the
be
dub.
fun. We should dub over
That'd
a
be
Family Guy episode.
Yeah, that would.
That'd be pretty funny.
That would be good.
So he named his first robot Zero. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I agree.
That's the name of the ghost dog from Nightmare Before Christmas.
It is. You're correct.
That name, Ghost Dog.
What do you think
Ghost
about
Dog,
Tim
Nightmare
Burton
Before
and his
Christmas.
views on black people?
Why isn't he getting... Oh, you gotta knock him into the electric
I
fence.
don't like can do that.
You ever touched an electric fence?
No.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think I'd enjoy it.
It was kind of hard. What? There's this kid... I don't remember if this was somewhere... I think it was thinking Boy Scouts.
Yeah, you were in Boy Scouts.
This might be like a lie story from middle
A
school.
lie story.
You know, like sometimes like
You lie.
you
for
were like
attention.
right, like in middle school you like make up stories to like think that you have more interesting stories
Sure.
or like exaggerate a story,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, we all
now
embellish.
that we're like 30,
We're not
I'm like
30. We're not
we're like
30.
20
We're-
20 to 30.
we are not 30.
Now that
years
we're in a
old.
vague young adult age range,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't remember if that really happened or not.
Yeah, I have a story kind of like this, but
So
you
there's
tell
this
yours.
kid in Boy Scouts that we were like with the Scoutmaster, like getting to this camp, and I think this happened.
I think this.
This is a really weird
I
setup for
think
a
this
story.
happens. You're like Memento. I think this happened.
I'm like writing it on
Yeah,
my
I
chest.
think that happened.
In one time in Boy Scouts. But this kid, the Scoutmaster was like, "Be careful when we're hiking through this campsite because there's like a bunch of rusted barbed wire
Yes.
because it used to be like property lines and stuff."
Yeah.
And this kid just like breaks formation and just like he's like
He
tetanus,
told
and then
me, he
like
told
jumps on the barbed wire.
He told me this.
I'm
story.
pretty sure it happened.
He jumped on the barbed wire.
He jumped on the barbed wire, and like the Scoutmaster had to like drive him to the hospital.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't see why you'd make that up. It's not like you did it. My fucking well, here's the thing. I know it didn't happen, but it's my. But it's like I liked this girl. I was in summer school, and I liked this girl that I did not know. I just saw her when we had lunch, and I liked this girl. And one day I fucking wrote a note that just said oh, I think you're pretty, and because I was such a fucking asocial I didn't know how to deal with that. So I gave it to her, and then just left, and I never saw her again. But then I just gaslit myself, and be like, oh, that didn't happen.
Oh my god,
I was like, and
that's dark.
and for I was so embarrassed, and for a long time, I just literally blocked the memory from my brain. I was just like, oh yeah, that didn't happen though. But now
Yeah, that never happened.
But now I've come to realize that it did.
That's crazy. That's pretty wild. You invented gaslighting.
I've invented self-gaslighting, yeah.
Do you want to see something embarrassing?
Yeah, of course
I
do.
have the note that I passed to my girlfriend in high school, my ex-girlfriend.
Dude, yes.
Of 4 years.
Bring that shit out, please.
But that's the first note that I passed to her in class in high school.
Better read it out loud. Are you...
Right?
Are you listening to Tame Impala?